Welcome to RankLens. Today, we count down the top 10 deepest ocean trenches in the world. The ocean floor holds some of Earth's most extreme secrets. And deep beneath the waves, where pressure would crush steel and darkness reigns eternal, that's where you'll find the deepest trenches on Earth. These underwater chasms are born where tectonic plates collide, crumble, and subduct into the planet's burning interior. We're diving down into the 10 deepest ocean trenches in the world, some over 11,000 meters below the surface. From South America's coast to the remote Pacific Islands, we're about to witness the most extreme depths our planet has to offer. One of these trenches is deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Ready? Let's descend. At number 10, we're plunging to the Peru, Chile Trench, also known as the Atacama Trench, which bottoms out at 8,065 meters below the surface. This massive chasm spans over 5,900 kilometers along South America's western edge, stretching from Peru down through Chile's coast. That's nearly the distance across the entire continental United States. But here's what makes this trench truly remarkable. The same Nazca Plate subduction that carved out this underwater canyon is also responsible for building the Andes Mountains, one of Earth's most iconic mountain ranges. The forces that pull the ocean floor down are the same ones that thrust the peaks skyward. And if you think this sounds geologically active, you'd be right. This zone generates some of South America's most powerful recorded earthquakes. The Peru, Chile Trench isn't just a scar on the ocean floor, it's a window into the raw power of our planet's restless crust. At number 9, we reach the Puerto Rico Trench, plunging to 8,376 meters, the deepest point in the entire Atlantic Ocean. Within this trench lies the Milwaukee Deep, a particular underwater canyon that descends over 8 kilometers below the surface, making it an abyssal zone where sunlight has never reached. Unlike most other trenches formed by subduction zones in the middle of the ocean, the Puerto Rico Trench marks something different: the collision boundary between two major tectonic plates, the North American Plate and the Caribbean Plate. These two massive pieces of Earth's crust are grinding against each other, and as they collide, one plate is forced downward, creating this epic underwater chasm. The result is a trench that's not just deep, it's geologically active and reminding us that even the Atlantic Ocean, home to some of humanity's oldest seafaring traditions, sits atop some of the planet's most volatile geology. At number 8, we're heading to one of Earth's most isolated and volcanic corners, the South Sandwich Trench, with depths reaching 8,428 meters. This trench holds the distinction of being the deepest point in the entire Southern Ocean, that vast frozen realm surrounding Antarctica. The South Sandwich Islands, a remote volcanic arc, sit directly above this trench in the churning waters near Antarctica. These islands are geologically young and incredibly active, still growing and reshaping themselves through volcanic eruptions. The reason for this active volcanism? Tectonic subduction. The oceanic plate sinking into the Earth's interior at this trench is driving the intense magmatism that feeds these volcanoes. It's a perfect example of how trenches aren't just passive scars. They're the engines of Earth's most violent geological processes. Few humans have ever laid eyes on the South Sandwich Islands or ventured near this trench, making it one of our planet's true final frontiers. At number 7, we reach the Japan Trench, descending to approximately 9,000 meters into one of the Pacific's most seismically active zones. This trench is no ordinary geological feature. It's connected to one of the most devastating natural disasters in modern history. On March 11, 2011, the catastrophic Tohoku earthquake struck Japan, triggered by massive ruptures along this very trench. The earthquake unleashed a tsunami that inundated Japan's coast, causing immense destruction and loss of life. Why is the Japan Trench so earthquake-prone? Because it marks where the Pacific Plate subducts beneath the Eurasian Plate, a collision zone of two of Earth's largest tectonic plates. As the Pacific plate sinks deeper, it builds pressure and stress, eventually releasing catastrophic energy in the form of earthquakes. This subduction process doesn't just create earthquakes, it also fuels Japan's famous volcanic activity and island arc. The Japan Trench reminds us that these deep scars in our planet are not silent. They're among Earth's most dangerous geological features. At number 6, we're descending to the Ogasawara Trench, plumbing depths of 9,780 meters in Japan's extended subduction zone. Rising directly above this submarine chasm are the Ogasawara Islands, a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for their unique biodiversity and pristine ecosystems. These remote islands are volcanic peaks born from the same subduction processes that carved out the trench below, creating a stunning display of geological activity. This trench marks a crucial transition point. It's where the Pacific Plate begins its descent beneath the Bonin Arc, one of the most active volcanic chains on Earth. As the massive Pacific Plate sinks deeper into the planet's interior, it triggers volcanic activity, earthquakes, and the formation of the island chain above. At nearly 10,000 meters deep, the Ogasawara Trench places us in waters where extreme pressure and pitch-black darkness define existence itself. At number 5, we dive to the Kermadec Trench, descending past 10,047 meters, the first trench in our countdown to exceed 10,000 meters below the surface. We've crossed a psychological and geological threshold here. Rising directly above this submarine canyon are the Kermadec Islands, a remote volcanic chain that forms part of one of Earth's most active subduction systems. These islands are the surface expression of powerful tectonic forces, and they share a continuous subduction arc with another trench in the Pacific we'll encounter in our countdown. Deep within this trench, in waters exceeding 10,000 meters, exists a unique ecosystem, hadal fauna specially adapted to the crushing pressure and perpetual darkness of the abyss. These bizarre organisms, found nowhere else on Earth, represent life pushed to its absolute limits. The Kermadec Trench serves as a gateway into understanding how life adapts to Earth's most extreme environments. At number 4, we reach the Philippine Trench, also called the Mindanao Trench, descending to 10,540 meters east of the Philippine archipelago. This trench, carved out by the subduction of the Philippine Sea Plate, represents a crucial zone, where one of the Pacific's most important oceanic plates is being thrust into the planet's interior. Here's something remarkable. If you measure the Philippine Trench and another trench just slightly deeper in our countdown, you'd find they're separated by merely 2 meters, an almost imperceptible difference given the vast depths involved. 2 meters seems insignificant when we're talking about trenches over 10 kilometers deep. Yet this tiny gap represents an important distinction in our ranking of Earth's deepest points. The Philippine Trench reminds us that the contest for Earth's deepest spot is incredibly close, a marginal difference between some of the planet's most extreme geological formations. Only as we continue our descent will we see how truly deep the ocean can actually go. At number 3, we've reached the Kuril, Kamchatka Trench, plunging to 10,542 meters, the deepest trench in a seismic hot zone that stretches across Russia's Far East. This trench runs alongside the Kuril Islands, one of Earth's most seismically active volcanic arcs, where eruptions and earthquakes are not rare exceptions but routine occurrences. The power driving this geological fury, the relentless descent of the Pacific Plate into Earth's interior. As this massive slab of oceanic crust sinks deeper, it triggers frequent, powerful earthquakes across Russia's Far East, some of them among the strongest ever recorded on our planet. The trench itself stretches over 2,200 kilometers along Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, making it one of the longest submarine canyons in the world. At 10,042 meters deep, This is a staggering depth, a place where the weight of the entire ocean column above creates pressures that would instantly crush any human, not in a specialized vessel. We're getting close to our deepest point, but there's still one trench waiting in the abyss. At number 2, we descend to the Tonga Trench, reaching depths of 10,882 meters in the southwestern Pacific Ocean. Within this trench lies the Horizon Deep, an underwater canyon that sits just 53 meters shallower than another entry in our countdown, a gap so narrow it's almost insignificant on our planetary scale. The Tonga Trench stretches approximately 2,500 kilometers through the southwestern Pacific, forming a massive arc of subduction. What makes this trench particularly dynamic is the rate at which the Pacific Plate is being subducted here. It's one of the fastest subduction zones on Earth. As this oceanic plate plunges downward at an accelerated pace, it generates intense seismic and volcanic activity, making the region above one of the Pacific's most geologically unstable zones. We're now at the second deepest point on our entire planet. There's only one trench left to explore, and it awaits us in the final descent. At number 1, we've reached the bottom of our countdown, the Mariana Trench, the single deepest known point in all of Earth's oceans, 10,935 meters below the surface. At the heart of this trench lies the Challenger Deep, a name that echoes through oceanographic history. To truly grasp the immensity of this depth, consider this: the Mariana Trench plunges deeper than Mount Everest rises above sea level. If you placed Earth's tallest mountain at the bottom of the Challenger Deep, its peak would still be underwater, lost beneath nearly a mile of ocean. The story of human exploration reaches this point too. On January 23, 1960, explorer Jacques Piccard and military engineer Don Walsh descended to the floor of the Mariana Trench aboard the bathyscaphe Trieste, a feat that remains one of humanity's greatest achievements of exploration. For over 50 years, they held the record for the deepest human dive. More recently, other explorers have followed, proving that even in Earth's most extreme environment, human curiosity knows no bounds. The Mariana Trench represents the ultimate frontier of our planet. These 10 trenches reveal something profound about our planet. Earth is not static, not stable, but constantly in motion. The forces that create these deepest places, the collision and subduction of massive tectonic plates, are the same forces that build mountains, trigger earthquakes, and fuel volcanic eruptions across our world. Trenches aren't just geographic curiosities. They're laboratories for understanding how our planet works. They're also home to life forms adapted to pressures and darkness that would seem impossible. The Mariana Trench, deeper than Everest, is tall, reminds us that our planet still holds mysteries, still pushes the boundaries of what we thought possible. And as technology advances, we continue to explore these abysses, uncovering new species and deepening our understanding of Earth itself. These trenches are reminders that exploration, discovery, and wonder are still very much alive on our planet. And that's the top 10 deepest ocean trenches in the world. If you enjoyed this countdown, subscribe to RankLens for more.